My name is Maria Zavala Paredes, and I work for Teleman Corporation, a nonprofit organization located in Paw Paw, Michigan. But we cover Cass, Van Buren, Berrien County, and we provide our two major services. One is financial literacy education, and we also do pre-purchase home buying counseling, right? So counseling services and workshop education. Today, I'm going to uh, talk about the steps to homeownership. Um, Let me see here. Just get situated. Right. So on the first page here, you'll see you can reach our agency by calling our number 269-459-2300 extension 2, or shoot us an email at housingmi@teleman.org. So let's get started preparing for homeownership. Oops, I went a little far. Give me 1 second. Um, so the first steps to homeownership is that you want to seek assistance. So seek assistance from agencies around you, nonprofit organizations like ours. You want to sit down with somebody to do an assessment, an affordability assessment to see where you're at, how much money's coming in, how much money's going out. Have download a credit report. Is your credit score where it should be? Is there any derogatory information in your credit that might prevent you from obtaining a mortgage loan? So you want to do, it's kind of like a dry run before you actually apply for the loan. And the housing counselor, and hopefully you're working with a HUD certified housing counselor that can help you break down some of those barriers so that you can achieve your goal of homeownership. So the second step would be to decide what kind of home you want and need. And after that, you want to start shopping for a home, um, make an offer on the home, get professional home inspection, and apply for a mortgage loan. And then you buy, right? So I think this one is a little bit of out of order. Sometimes after you decide if you're ready for home ownership, you may want to make sure that's the time that you can start applying for a home loan. It's towards the bottom because there are two processes in the home buying process. There is a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. The pre-qualification comes first, and then towards the end, after you've had a home inspection, then you're going to get a pre-approval. So those are really quickly the steps to home ownership. But what I wanted to concentrate more on today was what can you do in terms of getting ready to apply for that loan. And what we use is the 3 C's of credit. So capital, capacity, credit history, and collateral, right? And so this is the area where you can start doing some work on your own to see if you might be ready for home ownership or not. Um, but again, this is also one of the things that the lender is going to be looking at and trying to see if you're ready or if they'll approve you for that loan. So there's a lot that goes into preparing you for home ownership. There's a lot of information out there, but I thought that this was the most crucial and significant information that I could give you today. So let's start with capital. Capital is the money that you have. So do you have a down payment? Do you have funds in your account, in your savings account that can go towards loan fees? Sometimes there are some loan fees, these closing cost fees, an escrow, monies and reserves, money, moving expenses. So all these things are things that you want to see if you're before you even apply for a mortgage loan. Do we have this already saved up in a savings account? A lot of folks that I work with save money at home, but it's recommended that you take the money that you've been saving at home, stockpiling at home, and put it into a savings account. When you apply for a loan, the lender is going to make sure that you do have this available funds in a checking account. They will ask you for your bank statement to see how much money you have, again, for the down payment, for some of the loan fees, closing costs. If you don't have money for down payment, no worries. There are programs in the state of Michigan through our housing authority that you can apply for. There is a loan, a down payment loan through MISTA, and it's up to $7,500 that you can obtain for down payment and closing costs. Um, so that is capital. Capacity. Um, so capacity is your ability to repay back that loan, right? That you're asking for. So what is your current income coming from? Is it stable? Is your income history and future earnings, sorry, um, it's the ability to repay with current income and future earnings, right? So they want to make sure that you have a stable employment, or that the source of income is stable and you've had it longer than 2 years. So if you're getting disability or Social Security monies, right, and you're using that to apply for a loan, that money is stable and it's going to be consistent, and that you're going to be able to repay back that loan within the 10, 15, or 30-year period that you agree to. They're also going to check how much money that you owe, right? So this will come from your credit report. So they're going to download a credit report and find out how much you owe in installment accounts, revolving charging accounts, or any other monthly payments. So if you're already committed future income to these items on your credit report, such as a credit card payment, a car payment, a personal loan payment, right? That will determine how much money you have available to repay back a mortgage loan. So making sure that you're reducing debt at this time to be able to increase your opportunities to have your capacity, to have the maximum capacity to repay a loan. All right. Credit history. I mentioned credit history a moment ago. So when you're thinking about buying a home, you want to make sure that you're downloading a credit report. The safest place to download a credit report is annualcreditreport.com. You can also go to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, which are the three repositories, the three credit companies that hold your information, and you can safely download a credit report through them. However, by law, you do get a free credit report every year, and you can obtain those from the three credit companies or from annualcreditreport.com. Making sure that you know that you have that right to get a free credit report. However, the credit report that you download will not come with a credit score. You will have to buy that credit score. And again, you can go to annualcreditreport.com and they'll prompt you. There's a prompt there that tells you if you want to purchase your score. Also through each of the credit companies, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian will prompt you to say if you want to buy your credit report, your credit score, you can buy it. It ranges anywhere between $12 to $18, I would say, to buy your score. Also, FICO.com, I believe, is also another place that you can buy your credit report, our credit score. So what are they looking for on your credit report? They want to see what your payment history has been, with the amount that you owe, what's the debt load that you're carrying on your credit, the length of history on your credit, how long have you had those credit cards, how long have you had that car payment, any new credit, right? If you're opening up a new credit card, if you're opening up a new personal loan, and then the mix of credit. How is it? What type of credit are you carrying? Is it varied? Like, is it multiple sources? And that you don't only have credit cards. If you have 4 credit cards and nothing else, they want to see a little bit of variation, right? So when I work with clients, they ask me, what's the quickest and fastest way to increase my credit score or to repair my credit? So if you take a look at the chart here, payment history is worth about 35% of your credit score. The amount that you owe, so how much debt are you carrying? So if a credit card, let's say, is a $300 credit card, you have a secured credit card, you should only be using 30% of that. If it's $1,000, you should only be carrying 30% of that. So making sure that if your debt is above 30%, that you bring it under, if it's above 30%, that you bring it under 30% so that your score can go up. Typically, once you make a payment, it'll hit your credit report every 30 days. So every 30 days, your credit is being updated. The length of history is worth 10%. New credit is 15%, and credit mix is 10%. So a lot of people think that by opening up new credit cards or more credit cards, that's going to help their credit score increase. Well, it will, but it only affected 10%. The biggest impact is in the payment history. So if you are delayed or behind on your credits, you want to make sure, on your payments on the loans that you owe or your debt that you owe, you want to make sure that you're paying on time, because that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, right? It's going to help your score increase more than if you open a new credit card. Also, if those accounts are above 30%, checking that you pay them down to under 30%, that will help your credit score go up as well. Right. Collateral. So collateral is the actual item that you are either purchasing or you are putting up to secure that loan that you're asking for. So in this situation, it's going to be the house. So it's really important that there is an appraisal done on the home, and usually the appraisal is ordered by the lender. So once the appraisal comes in, the worth of the house has to come either at asking price. So if the owner of the house is asking for $150,000, then the appraisal should either come at 150 or above. If it comes under, you might not be able to use that loan to buy that home. They might deny you that loan. So you want to make sure that you have that appraisal done. Again, that's something that the lender will order, but that's the last C of credit that the lender is going to be taking a look at. That's why it's important that you work with a realtor to find a home, and that they walk you through the process and inform you on when the appraisal is coming. Once the appraisal arrives, that you review it with your realtor or your housing counselor to analyze, why did it not come at the price that we were looking for, 150,000, or what is at that point you can take it back to the owners and renegotiate with the owner, and saying, can you lower the asking price because the appraisal did not come as high as you thought you would wanted it to come in. And that's the opportunity also to renegotiate a price for that home. So that's the information that I brought to you today. And hopefully this will give you a few tips on how to start looking at your finances, your credit report, and analyzing, am I ready for homeownership? If you do need some more assistance, if you want to meet with a housing counselor, again, Teleman has housing counseling. We have a certified housing counselor that you can talk to. You can give us a call at 269-459-2300 extension 2, or send us an email message at housingmi@teleman.org. I thank you for having me today. If we have any questions, I can try to answer those questions.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you to our viewers. I would like to leave it open because we do have plenty of time. I'd love to leave it open for anyone to shoot us a question in the Q&A, or on live on Facebook, you can enter your questions into the comments. I think that, Maria, you provided such valuable information because people just generally don't know where to start when they are considering buying a home. And the great thing is that your organization provides this education to our community.
Absolutely. So yes, so if, I think there's so much to cover about housing, and it was not part of my presentation today, but one of the first steps is to create a budget. If you don't have a budget, you really, really want to make sure that you're seeking help to have somebody help you create a budget, because that will help determine how much savings you have to clear debt, how much savings you have to uh, um, put down for a down payment. So things like that, right? And so if you don't have a budget, you don't have a clear picture of where you are and where you can go, and how soon you can get there, right? So it will determine how soon you can save up that down payment that you need, or how soon you can clear that collection stat that appeared in the credit report that you had no idea that was there. So things like that, right? So making sure that you do have a budget and you do get the assistance that you need. So again, we can certainly help with that.
You know what, Maria, that's great advice. And I would agree that whether you're planning to buy a house or not, you should have a budget. And I think that when people have one and you've been tracking your spending for some months, then you're better able to see where you need to make the proper adjustments to your household budget so that you can include those things, those goals that you have, whether that's buying a home or increasing your savings or whatever, or making some other large purchase. So budgeting is very, very important.
Yeah, I see Shelly has a question. Can she be contacted to her counsel, or does her organization give one-on-one sessions? So we do, at the moment, we have a pre-purchase home buyer education workshop that we're offering April 26th and 20, Monday and Tuesday, which is April 26th and 27. I should have had that in front of me and I don't. I'm very sorry. But it's coming up pretty soon. So if you give us a call, Jessica will help you through the process of registering for our pre-purchase home buyer education. We do it on Mondays. It's a 2-day, 3-hour each day workshop. It's pretty intensive, but it is also the workshop that's required when you apply for down payment assistance through MISTA. Some other lenders might require it. They require a certificate of completion. And so that's, again, coming up pretty soon here on Monday, the 26th and 27th, if that's the right date. And then they are from 5 to 8. After the class, you get a certificate and you get a manual. And we cover everything about housing, right? How to purchase, how to talk to the realtor, how to approach the lender, things like that. And we do offer one-on-one sessions with families. So if that's where you want to start to see what your individual situation is, we can sit down, we can help you create a budget. We'll download a credit and then analyze a credit report with you. And again, if you call us or shoot us an email, we can get you started. But yes, those are the two things that we could definitely help with.
So Maria, I have a question. If a person takes your homeowner education class, are they automatically approved for the down payment assistance?
So no, the down payment assistance, what happens is you go to your lender and your lender is the one that's going to determine whether you qualify for that down payment assistance or not. That is not something that we have the application for, but we do certainly, again, help you obtain the certificate of completion for that workshop that's required for the down payment assistance.
Are you aware if there are any income guidelines around the down payment assistance?
There is the income guidelines. And again, that's something we can definitely help you with. We can pull that up and give you an idea if you might qualify or not. You know, it have to be, there's certain requirements. But yeah, that's something we can help with before you go to the lender and see if a lender will help you apply for that.
All good information. Thank you so much.
Yes.